Most rental apartments aren't homes. They're high-priced holding cells designed to be as offensive as a bowl of plain oatmeal. You spend thousands of dollars a month to live inside 4 walls of eggshell-white drywall, yet you're too scared to hang a single picture because you've treated your lease agreement like a sacred religious text. Listen, your landlord doesn't own your aesthetic soul, even if they own the deed to the building. By the end of this, you'll know how to transform that architectural void into a space that looks like you actually have a personality. And more importantly, you'll do it without giving your landlord an excuse to buy a new boat with your security deposit.
Think of your apartment not as a permanent structure, but as a high-stakes stage set. In a theater, the walls stay where they are, but the world changes around them. Your goal isn't to renovate, it's to create an illusion. Everything we do should be strikeable, meaning it can be packed into a box in under 2 hours without leaving a trace that you were ever there. You are the lead actor, and the walls are just your backdrop. Stop treating them like they're load-bearing canvases for your permanent legacy.
Let's start with the physics of command, specifically adhesive optimization. We've all seen them, those sad plastic hooks that look like they belong in a public shower. But when used correctly, heavy-duty adhesive strips are the backbone of a rent-proof life. Use these to mount oversized, lightweight canvases or minimalist black frames. It gives the room an intentional, curated height. Elevating your art draws the eye upward, making your cramped 30-square-meter studio feel like it actually has a ceiling. Just don't ignore the weight ratings. If the strip says 5 kilograms and your vintage, ornate mirror weighs 6, gravity will eventually win, and I promise you it will happen at 3 a.m. It's a reliable system, but remember, it's only as good as the cheap paint it's stuck to. Next, consider the tension strategy for vertical expansion. If you can't drill into the wall, squeeze against it. Tension rods aren't just for hiding your ugly shower curtain. Floor-to-ceiling tension poles with integrated shelving or plant hangers create a built-in look without a single screw. This utilizes vertical dead space that most renters ignore, freeing up your precious floor area for actual furniture. It's pure mechanical genius, though you have to be careful. Over-tightening can crack a cheap ceiling, and under-tightening leads to a very expensive domino effect. Then there's the lean-to method. Stop trying to hang everything. The most sophisticated spaces often look like the owner just got bored halfway through decorating. A massive 2-meter floor mirror or a large-scale piece of art leaning casually against the wall says, "I'm too cool for a level and a stud finder." These leaning mirrors bounce light across the room and create depth. It's high style with 0 damage, assuming you have the floor real estate to spare. If you're living in a literal shoebox, this might be a luxury you can't afford. Finally, we have architectural camouflage using fabric and tape. When the wall color is the problem, cover the wall. And no, I don't mean with a live, laugh, love decal. Use large-scale textile wall hangings or minimalist frames created out of high-end washi tape. Fabric absorbs sound, which makes it your acoustic savior if your neighbor's lifestyle is as loud as their taste in music. Just keep it high quality. If the fabric isn't properly weighted at the bottom, your living room will look like a college dorm room very quickly.
Now, let's take a moment to discuss the gallery wall. Everyone tells you to create a gallery wall with 20 tiny mismatched frames. Please don't. Unless you want your living room to look like a TGI Fridays, just stop. It's 20 holes to patch and 20 opportunities for things to be crooked. The pragmatic choice is to go big. One massive, lightweight piece of art is infinitely more sophisticated than a cluster of dust-collecting clutter. Everyone tells you to fill the space, but I'm telling you to respect the negative space. A blank wall isn't an invitation to clutter, it's a breath of fresh air. And a quick note on peel and stick wallpaper. It's a lie. In high humidity, it peels off like a bad sunburn. In low humidity, it fuses to the wall and takes the drywall with it when you leave. It's rent-proof in the same way waterproof watches work until you actually go swimming. Avoid it.
Back to our stage set. You aren't building a fortress, you're curating a temporary experience. When you finally move out to a place you actually own, if the economy ever allows that, you should be able to walk away with nothing but a suitcase and your dignity, leaving the walls as blank and boring as you found them. Remember these 3 principles. First, prioritize weight. Buy art based on how heavy it is, not just how it looks. If it needs a toggle bolt, it doesn't belong in a rental. Second, think vertically. Use tension and friction to your advantage. The floor and ceiling are your best friends. The drywall is just a witness. And third, command the space. Invest in high-quality adhesives and actually read the instructions. It's the difference between a curated home and a pile of broken glass. Stop living in a waiting room. Decorate for the life you have now, not the house you might have in 10 years. Remember, it's not just for looks, it's for life.